Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Let's start our video with a story about a digital designer who took on a pro bono project for a friend's acquaintance, Nicole, who owned a bar and needed a new menu design. OP ended up having to hire a lawyer. You want to use a copyrighted character for your menu? Let me help you. Last year, while I, then 25-year-old male, was working with digital design for a friend, he asked me to design something for a lady friend of his who owns a bar and was thinking of beginning fresh. She wanted a simple design for her menu. It was going to be one page only, since there isn't many appetizers anyway, and didn't have much money thanks to the pandemic, so I was willing to work pro bono. Let's call her Nicole, 27-year-old female. Nicole was messaging me every sort of art she found on Pinterest, saying how cute some were and if I could do it like this one, etc. If you've ever worked with designers, you know they strongly dislike when you dictate their work. You're welcome to choose patterns and positioning and whatnot, but bear in mind that it's best if they don't copy someone else's artwork. Anyway, I made 3 versions exactly like she asked. Took me around 5 days to design because she didn't like the picture that she took or something. It happens, I was okay with it. Design number 1 was too colorful. She didn't like too many colors. There were 3 main colors. Number 2, I don't remember what she said about it. And number 3, oh, I love it. Thank God it was over. But could you remove this table at the bottom? Also, the character doesn't represent my bar that much. While my degree was something out of a YouTube tutorial, I could call myself a designer since most of my clients loved my work and some professionals were over the moon when I showed them any of my projects. I never studied for real because it wasn't my career, but I digress. Nicole's sister, Natalie, 20-year-old female on the other hand, read a book and was ready for the workplace. No, really, she read one book about design and color theory. She went to Nicole and demanded to know why wouldn't she come to her in the first place. Long story short, I was in a group chat with Nicole and Natalie, being bombarded with JPEGs of many cute characters holding plates. And then on the 3rd day, it came. The atrocious menu, as I like to call. It was my 3rd design without the table at the bottom, with a children's font, think Comic Sans, but illegal, and a brunette cartoon girl holding a plate. I swear I've seen that girl somewhere. Nicole loved it. The only problem, apart from the rest, was that where the table was colored red on an attempt to erase it, and the girl was outlined in white. Natalie told me to fix it. One reverse image search from Google told me that the same mascot girl was used on a big food blog from our city, XYZ Foodies, not real name, of course. That's where I knew the mascot. I messaged both of them asking if they were really sure they wanted to use the mascot. They were. Very well. I changed my original design to match the desired one, and voila! I also changed my standard contract to register the design under Nicole's name with full responsibility. Thanks, Reddit, for this knowledge. Contract signed and copied, art delivered, case closed. Until 3 months later, I received a letter on my mail. Oh, I was being notified. It was faster than expected. The original artist for the blog's mascot was suing me. It wasn't a formal sue, I just don't know the term in English, but his lawyer went and told me I did something wrong. I contacted my mom's lawyer, and she was a little concerned. Copyright is really, really bad, and most lawyers were not equipped for it because it's uncommon to us non-famous people. I told her about the crap storm of the previous semester, and she was, let me tell him. The gist was that while I indeed designed the menu, and eventually the same mascot was used for the logo, I was 0% responsible per agreement. And another 3 months went by before I woke up to my cell phone having a seizure from the incoming texts and calls. Nicole and Natalie were pissed. WTF, why are we being sued because of your design? And solve this mess right now. Me, I'm sorry, what happened? Nicole, I'm being sued. I just received the notification at my bar. Me, is it the design? Nicole, yes, what did you do? Did you do this to me? Why? Me, I didn't do a thing. I just did what you and Natalie asked for. Natalie, what? Why are we being sued then? Me, possibly because you used the character from XYZ Foodies? Natalie, using another character on a design doesn't do this. You told XYZ Foodies, didn't you? Me, why would I do that? The girl goes around the city trying every new bar and restaurant, even asked you if you two were sure about using the art. There was a meeting with their lawyer. I think he also read one book. might be two. My lawyer, Natalie, Nicole, me, and the friend I was working with, invited by Nicole herself. The dude was saying stuff about design being the artist's responsibility and stuff like that. My lawyer, bless her heart, pulled a copy of my single-page contract stating clearly, I, the client, take full responsibility for the design and everything that comes with it. The line is longer, I'm just lazy to look up the entire clause. After she read it out loud, everyone was quiet until Nicole opened her mouth. Nicole, so how are you going to help us? My lawyer, we aren't. Their lawyer, we can close the deal, you pay 50% of any legal fees incurred from the dispute with XYZ artist, and we won't sue you. My lawyer, or we can shake hands and you leave my client alone because if you sue and lose, we're going to court again for emotional damage and emotional distress at work for my client. Are we clear? Their lawyer. Have it your way then. And with a smirk, the dude left. My lawyer, confused, just sat there organizing her two papers, and the sisters were sitting there, arms crossed and annoyed looks on their face. My friend looked at Nicole and said, "You know you're in the wrong, right?" Nicole sighs, "I'm sorry." OP, "Thank you for your time." We left and I never heard from Nicole or Natalie again, except for the time I went to her bar and saw that the sign was just Nicole's Bar with a beer company logo. This time it was legal. She was not happy to see me. Edit. Some people are commenting on if Nicole and Natalie were warned, and the short answer is they might have been warned. Long answer, it's widely known in my country about usage of any copyrighted characters in any artwork for commercial use, even if they didn't know better. I put, shall this product be used for any commercial purpose, such as profiting from any art not made by the supplier? I, blank, will take any responsibility whatsoever. Translated. And I said that she could ask me anything about it because I take this very seriously. Sadly, most people take this profession with a grain of salt. Your story seems to be missing the part where you tell the customer why it's a bad idea to steal artwork from the internet. And our second story. You want this price? You got it. Years ago, I worked as an assistant manager for a retail store in art supplies. My store was in a fairly affluent area, and we got lots of bored housewives who dropped $500 because they wanted a hobby. So one year, the company offered a one-day-only coupon for Black Friday. The store was swamped. Saturday was swamped. Sunday was swamped. I'm running a register and trying to get people through as rapidly as I can when she arrives. We'll call her Debbie, D. Throwing 3 bags of merchandise on my counter. I want to return all this stuff and rebuy it. Me. Okay, can I ask why? People sometimes did this because they'd used the wrong payment method or something, but I needed to verify. D. I bought all this stuff on Friday at store 1,500 miles away, and their tax rate is higher. So I want to return all of it and buy it here to pay lower taxes. Now hurry up, I've been driving all day and I'm tired. This is going to be a pain on a very busy day over what comes out to about $2.50. I confirm with the other manager who agrees this is ridiculous, but we just need to do it. So I start a return, but the totals don't match up. So I have to call and talk to the on-call support rep. He tells me I can only refund my state's tax, not the other amount. The solution is to manually adjust the prices until the tax and totals match. As I'm doing this, Debbie is complaining about how she's tired from driving. I'm taking too long, her dog, her feet, her back, whatever. But eventually, I get everything balanced and process her return. Okay, the return's been processed. It's about time. You'd be done already if you weren't so stupid. Now I want to buy it all again. Cue Malicious Compliance Part 1. The thing about art supplies is they can be small and in multitudes. And that's what she'd purchased. Individual pencils, brushes, pastels, sheets of paper, etc. Sure thing, ma'am, but I want to be absolutely certain I ring everything up right, since I'm dumb. So with a sweet smile, I take everything out of the bags and ring them up one by one, and of course some stuff doesn't scan, so it has to be looked up. As I go along, she's getting more and more agitated. The insults get more frequent, and now everyone in the other lines are glaring at her. At last, everything is rung up, and I give her the total. Cue Malicious Compliance Part 2. Remember that coupon from the beginning of the story? The code has been pulled from the system, so her new total with the reduced tax rate is significantly higher than the old one. Debbie loses it and starts screeching. It's not even words at this point, only noise. Sorry, ma'am, but it looks like you used our exclusive coupon on Friday. Unfortunately, that coupon is no longer valid. Your new total will be total. She kept screaming, but eventually paid, snatched her items, and left. It was a good day to be retail. The difference in taxes can't have been enough to justify the effort. Plus, she spent a fair amount in traffic. She used gas and put miles on the car just to do this really stupid thing. And our last story. HOA wanted to tow our car. My parents live in a neighborhood with strict HOA rules. However, they're one of only 2 houses in the entire subdivision that are not under the HOA. But the people across the road from them are. And they're also the worst kind of neighbors. My parents have an old SUV, like a 2000 Expedition, because they needed something to haul their 5 teenagers around in. Still runs just fine, but kinda ugly. They park it on the street in front of their house most days. Neighbors across the road have even called the HOA, the city councilman, the police even, because HOA says you're not allowed to park on the street for more than 2 hours at a time. The HOA, via the jerk neighbors, even tried to get the city to tow the truck as abandoned when my parents went on vacation for a long weekend. Thankfully, I was house sitting for them, read mooching off their food and awesome cable package, and prevented that. The HOA can't do a damn thing about it because my parents aren't in the HOA. My mom's next act of rebellion is going to be to paint their front door dark purple because it's not an approved color on the HOA list. Also, she's keeping her vote for Beto sign in the front yard forever because signs are banned by the HOA. And also, the jerk neighbors across the road have a cruise sticker on their car. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.